4, 5. Here we go. Just the Thought Podcast. We are back with another one. Guys, if you guys haven't seen it on YouTube, go watch episode 47 featuring Nico Rebel. Shout out to Nico Rebel. But we have a special guest on the show today. First and foremost, what's up, Tion? How have you been?
How you doing, man? Everything's great.
Yeah.
A little bit
Yes.
rainy weather today, but everything's going all right.
Okay. That's good. That's good. All right, let's jump into our guest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her introduce herself, but I want to say before she does introduce herself, first of all, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come kick it with us on the show. And I'm a super fan. We talked a little bit off air how I found you through like an algorithm, and I just became a big fan. It started off on TikTok, then I went to Facebook. I was like, all right, she's everywhere. YouTube, and then I found her on Instagram, and listen, I became a fan overnight because I've always been an animal junkie. That's when I was a little kid. Those are the books I usually went to. Yeah, everybody they liked Harry Potter stuff like this. No, I liked the big books with pictures in it. I get to read where they come from. That's what I grew up on. And
I love it.
Listen, Animal Planet, watching Crocodile Hunter, Jeff Corwin's Experience, Zaboombafu, all this stuff. Like, yeah, I'm gonna bring it back.
Okay.
So now I finally got to become a fan of her. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, but like this is incredible. I want to say thank you, but I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Hi guys, this is such a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this for since we made our plans. Anyways, so I'm Alexandra Ashe. I'm the CEO and founder of Kinkatopia, which is the world's first and only Kinkajou Sanctuary. And of course, so many people are like, what's a Kinkajou? The name sounds a little questionable. What exactly do you have going on here? That's okay. Kinkajous are these very sweet little brown creatures about the size of a house cat with a long tail. They kind of look like a monkey bear, but they are a rainforest mammal that get into the U.S. and other places because of the pet trade. And people see them and they think, this is a really cute little pet. This is great. This is awesome. And then they realize, no, this is a full-grown wild animal, like that's going to be in my house someday that can live up to 35 to 40 years.
Yeah.
So I started Kinkatopia to help with the issue and start educating, and hopefully if we can get ahead of the issue where people are educated enough and they have their animals and they're giving them what they need, then they won't have to surrender them so often. In my findings, I've been doing this since 2018, and I'd say about only 10 to 15% of Kinkajous actually stay in the homes that they start out in. So it's a big problem.
Why is that? Why do people think it's a good idea to own this animal? And even though its habitats in the rainforest, where are they from? Brazil, Costa Rica, like all the tropical area. Why do people think it's a good idea to own this type of animal?
Kinkajou, yeah.
Let me, because
I'm guilty.
Please. Okay. No, but you're different though. This is your job. This is
so we need to know. Yeah.
But it didn't start like that. So I used to run another animal organization. I did rescue of really any kind. And a friend of mine at the time got a baby Kinkajou. She had an exhibit business, so she was going out and educating with them. And I met that little Kinkajou, and within 48 hours, I took a loan out from my bank, because they're pricey, took out a loan, and I went and I got Arkham, who was my very first. And he turned into a problem child because I didn't know how to properly raise him. I didn't have any information. I didn't have a community. So he is essentially what started Kinkatopia, was when I needed help. And I realized there are a lot of people having this issue. Now, what makes them tough is, they're this sweet, adorable little creature. However, they pack a really big fangs. They pack a really big, very violent and sudden bite. And it's like a cat bite in the sense that when they bite you, that bacteria and everything gets in there. They're biting through muscle. They're biting into bone. It's very painful. They're like little vices.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not expect that. Did not expect that at all. No.
Yep. And then it's just totally like out of the blue. Like you could be cuddling and they just flip a switch. And even some of mine that are more docile that I can handle, there's always that possibility. So biting, I mean, that's an easy one, but they're extremely smart. They say they have the intelligence of a 3-year-old. I think more. I mean, my guys can disassemble vandal-proof light fixtures. They can open my sliding glass doors. We have to keep everything locked. They need a lot of space.
That sounds crazy.
They're nocturnal. You can't really travel. You need to find a specialized vet. They primarily eat fruit, so you're buying fruit daily or every other day. It's expensive. I mean, I could go on, but it takes a very special person to be able to effectively keep one. So I'm not saying no one should have them. I'm just saying that really at the end of the day, most of us can't handle it. So save yourself and the Kinkajou the issues, and let's just, stop the breeding and get them right with right people. So
yeah. Let me ask you this. What was your most terrifying moment like with owning a Kinkajou? Because I know, like you said, you're obviously when you what was the name of your first Kinkajou? The name? Arkham. So when you got Arkham, right? Obviously, it's your first time owning this type of animal. We're used to cats and dogs, bunnies at that. What was that like for you going through owning something like this for the first time?
No one has ever asked me that. This is such a good question because I think it took a toll on me emotionally first more than anything, because here's this creature and he's the love of my life. He still is. My little baby, I grew him I got him when he was 3 weeks, so I had him far too young. But I had such a bond with him, and through the first year, he didn't bite me. He started biting other people, and I thought, okay, well, he'll just be with me. Like I just won't let anyone else handle him.
Yeah.
Now part of my story is that I'm a recovering heroin addict. So I actually had to go away for treatment for a little bit. I had a relapse back then. And that's when his hormones really kicked off and I wasn't around. So I'm lucky that my family cared for him.
Yeah.
It was when I got out. So I came home, it was within 2 days. So I'm reunited with Arkham. Things are going swimmingly. He had never bit me. And it's funny because I have pictures of him. Literally, I'm wearing a sports bra and he's tucked in my sports bra and he's just like so cute. He worked his way down my leg and he latched into my big toe. And that was the first time that I had gotten bitten like that. And it was so violent. I couldn't get him off. So then you go to pull him off, and here's a creature that has a prehensile tail, which means it moves like another arm. So he's just biting my arm, constricting, scratching me. You try to get him off, he's on the other one. So it's like crazy. And they're like eyes glass over, real dark. It's almost like the zombie has arrived, It is. I could never, it's like the most perfect example of like the wild instinct coming out, because like, it's almost like you can see it and then they just totally can't help it. In those moments, they're very scary. The bites are very scary, but it's the afterwards where, I usually have to scruff them to get them off of me. I'm afraid I'm going to injure them. Meanwhile, he's going hard on my, my wrist.
And they're kind of heavy. No, they're like 10 pounds. They can get to like 10 pounds, I think, right?
4 to 6, which is still
4 to
heavy enough
6
when you got them on you. It's just, I can't, it's just so violent. And it's just something that you just don't expect. And they're another animal. So it was definitely in that moment. It was after the first bite, I got him off of me and I'm sitting there and it just like, oh my God, like my emotional connection with this animal, like, I can't handle him anymore. Like, how am I going to have a relationship with him? And that ended up being the basis for Kinkatopia. But that was really, really hard. In fact, I started my organization and I didn't even hold another Kinkajou for like another year because I didn't come across one that wanted to be held. So,
And how was that like when you introduced a Kinkajou to another one, right? Because your first one that you were keeping was in captivity for a year. So you introduced another one. What was that relationship like? Because they probably were fighting, or
no,
are they social animals?
I found them to be so social. So if you look up about a Kinkajou, you'll read that they're solitary creatures in the wild, which is true because they're out there at night. I mean, we really can't observe them the best, but they go out, they forage, and then they come back and they sleep in little groups. I have found, in fact, every single Kinkajou I have here now, I have 30. They all have partners. They are, I find them to be very social. So when I first had Arkham, he was 6 months old when I got Gotham. I'm a Batman fan. I got Gotham. And
I prefer Marvel, but I understand. I prefer Marvel,
okay.
but okay.
I got a whole house to make up for Marvel too, don't worry. So just comic book fan. So Arkham, so Gotham, I got Gotham, and I thought that she was a 6-month-old, just very antisocial baby, and it turns out that she was a wild caught, full-grown adult. Fortunately, she was extremely passive, so Arkham basically taught her that like this environment was okay and it was safe for her. She didn't trust me at first, but he helped, her learn that she could trust me. And yes, and that's just, I found them to be super social. By the time I had my third one come, which I launched Kinkatopia on Instagram in March of 2018, and within 48 hours, I had a call about my first one, Chloe, who's of course still here. I have had really good luck introducing them. I find them to be quite social. Right now, what we're going to do is we have a cage right next to me. We're going to enlarge the cage, and we're going to make it large enough so we can keep like another 6 in there. So I do have like Gen Pop cages, and yeah. So I mean, we have discovered some really incredible things doing this. Not only like they're social, we found one of our Kinkajous had diabetes. They primarily eat fruit. Some people feed them sweets. They get diabetes. So my one girl diabetes. We had our diet was able to just keep her glucose at the level it needed to be. We're putting together databases for blood, because even like the veterinarians don't have baseline blood for Kinkajous. They're calling me. I'm getting calls nationally, even internationally from vets. So it really is like, I mean, my heart fell in love with a species that like no one else is really doing much with. And
I would I want to ask you this. Starting Kinkatopia, right? How does it feel being the only sanctuary for Kinkajous in the world? Right? Because you were just talking about how vets have to call you, have to find certain information. What is that feeling like to be the only Kinkajou sanctuary in the world?
It's an honor, but at this point it's very overwhelming. I never realized that there would be so many that need homes. In addition to the 30 I have here, I've probably helped place about 120 throughout the US.
Oh, wow.
So people call me when they want them to go elsewhere, when they want them to have new homes. So I place them with zoos or sanctuaries or with other Kinkajous that need companions. I am on a quarter acre of land.
Good for you. Yeah.
I am on a very small amount of land.
If you don't mind, we're gonna ask too. If you don't mind, if you can give us a tour too.
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. I even have one of the cages open so you can see some of the kinks. But so I've done the most that I can with this area. But in addition to this, so I've been working a full-time job up through this whole entire thing, and a career. I've been managing a department for a financial newsletter company. 2024 brought some life changes. I got divorced this year and I got laid off from that job, which was not planned. But I found myself working 2 jobs in addition to the sanctuary to be able to buy out my house.
Two jobs. Wow.
Yeah. So I work 2 full-time jobs.
When do you sleep?
It's gotten tough. This has been a hard year. Fortunately, I feel like there is a break coming, and hopefully I'll be able to just dial it back to at least 1 job or something. But I know that I need to be a full-time Kinkajou keeper, full-time Kinkatopia keeper, and we're desperately working towards me being the first employee, because no one gets paid for this. This is all charity,
voluntary.
All voluntary, exactly. So that has been the biggest challenge, because especially this year, like I've taken in Kinkajous from people who've gotten divorced. Here I am going through my own life changes, but I'm bringing them all with me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's been a fight. It's been a fight, but
so I gotta ask, when you started this, did you start this with your husband, or were you alone when you started this whole project? Because you said you're divorced.
Right. I was with him. He's never really been involved with Kinkatopia. He did a lot of he helped with the house, but then, we've got cats and some other animals in the house. So then all of that it all fell on me once he moved out, which is just, the natural swing of things. But he's also he's been helping out with it too throughout. So I'm very grateful for that, because I've needed a lot of help with this as of recently. So yeah, it's just, I need the resources, and I don't have resources to be able to handle what the world's throwing at me. But I'm hoping to be better
Yeah.
prepared because we're in for the long haul.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Being working and owning your own sanctuary, what are some of the challenges that you have to face owning your own sanctuary? And like you said, not use this is from out of your pocket. What are some of the challenges that you have to go through owning your own wildlife sanctuary?
Oh my gosh.
It's difficult, I know. That's why I asked.
But it's like, no, but it is. It's and I have become very vocal about this. If have you heard of Animal Con? They've got
Yeah.
Animal Con where a bunch of the influencers get together in October, and this is one of my favorite topics because the reason that I had the issues before 7.5 years ago with my other sanctuary is because, like I said, I'm a recovering addict. I let it completely consume me. I didn't practice any self-care. I wasn't taking care of my mental health, and and it went under. And I feel those same effects now. I just know that I don't want to go back to that, so I've been throwing myself more into support and therapy and things of that nature. So definitely, battling that is a big one. I really don't have any free time for myself. Like my life right now, I wake up at 9 and I work my 2 jobs until 5 and kind of do a little Kinkatopia stuff. And then, I'm working until like 11 o'clock at night when I finally get like a break. And then that's when I'd like hang out with the animals, but now I'm too tired. So it it's going in cycles. But it has been challenging. So prioritizing self-care, I'd say, is the most important thing, because once that goes, I mean, I know I'm not worth to anyone. Yeah. With working the jobs, I'm not able to make as much content, so it's taking away time from there. It is. It's a struggle. And let's talk about even just finding someone to live with me. Fortunately, I got lucky. My COO.
I do want to say one thing, not to interrupt, but
no, go for it.
Even though like you said, 2024 has been a year that has you have understand yourself, and you have taken new heights, but you inspire people, and I want you to say you inspire people, and a lot of people look up to you, and just keep going, just keep going. And one thing I would have to say is that your energy is contagious, and I think that's why you have a big following on TikTok. So yeah, we're hard on ourselves. I get down on myself, but like, listen, you're human. You're one of the most hardworking people I know, just looking at your page, and just keep going. So don't worry about that. Listen, we all work hard. We all work hard. We all work hard. We all work hard. Yes. We all work hard.
It's really kind.
Yeah.
It's really kind. But yeah, I'm waiting for my miracle, and I can't announce anything publicly, but I might have gotten that today. So things might be changing greatly for me in the future. So
then I have my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, for real.
Please, yeah,
for real.
fingers and tails.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I like that tails. So let me can you like school us on some cool facts of Kinkajous? All right, because I know they live for about 20 to like 25 years in the wild. What is the difference between a Kinkajou in captivity versus a Kinkajou in the wild?
Okay, cool. Oh my goodness. Well, I'd say they're probably living a little less out there just because of predators, the natural swing of things. Even just getting diseases or cancers or things of that nature. And it is impressive that they're living that long. Now, in captivity, the record was in Hawaii, and it was 41. So they are definitely living longer in captivity. I have one currently, she's 24. She's going strong. She's like a teenager. So yeah, it's impressive. But I'd say that's where if they really are truly kept properly, I mean, they can live for quite a long time. But yeah, I'd say the biggest difference I found is just that they're more social. I think that they're a lot more social than we let on. in the wild, they're primarily eating figs. They're eating some lizards. They are, you know, maybe like a little mouse here or there. They're grabbing some leaves.
So they're like
And they're,
omnivores, right?
yeah,
They're
exactly.
omnivores.
Okay,
Yeah.
omnivores.
They're omnivores, but they're actually classified as a frugivore because they eat so much fruit.
Fruit,
So
yeah.
the other stuff's just like bonus, but you're totally right because some people don't realize that. I mean, it's just like a subcategory.
Yeah.
And my guys will eat freaking anything. They're like trash cans. They are literally so they're related to raccoons, right?
I was
They're
about to say that
Yep.
because the
Yeah.
first when you were telling us earlier, you know, that they could like open doors and stuff, I was like, that sounds like a raccoon, right? 'Cause they
So
use their
freaking
hands and
smart.
open trash cans and all this stuff. So
Yep.
it made
Yeah.
it sound like it's related somehow, you know,
Yeah.
the actions of what it does and stuff. So
It's exactly, and it has
yeah,
like that really willful attitude too.
yeah, and a
But
mindset probably the
yeah,
same.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it's
I can attest
amazing.
to that. They're
Yeah.
sassy. So yeah, they're in the raccoon family, and they can turn their feet entirely 180 degrees around. They can also run backwards, which is pretty impressive. Right?
Okay.
I
I've
did not
never
know
seen
that.
it.
I might have to look up a video of that. That I've never
Right?
seen. That's crazy.
It's like moonwalking.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
crazy. What else is fun? They have a 4 to 5 inch long tongue, so that's where I get on my T-shirt here. My guy's got his long tongue sticking out.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
And that's so they can eat honey and nectar in the wild. So
Mhm.
when they yawn, you're kind of like, what is that?
Yeah. What is why is that why Kinkajous are called honey bears?
Yep, that's exactly
Because
it.
they go and get the honey inside of the, I guess the bee's
Oh,
nest,
I did
right?
not.
It goes so
Okay.
far down, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they
Or
even have a thicker skin so the bees can't
and
sting
sting
them,
them.
which is a blessing because so this is one of the wild things that happens to Kinkatopia. In October of 2022,
Mhm.
right above my one cage, there was a big nest. We were attacked by a swarm of Africanized killer bees.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
Whoa.
my honey bears, at my whole section of the neighborhood. So my one neighbor went to the ICU, and it was really, really scary. I was running around my backyard in a bee suit, breaking open cages. We had to evacuate the yard for the animals. So
Yeah,
it was very scary.
yeah. Sounds
But
like a
the
nightmare.
irony of it, that's exactly it. Yeah, it was like a horror movie. But
Yeah.
it's to me, it's just like, okay, like the bees went after the honey bears. Go figure, you know, it's
Mhm.
just ironic. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Wow.
that
Yeah.
was an adventure. And that's when we really realized too, because you guys have brought up my community a couple times, and that's something that like my community has literally saved my life multiple times. They've helped these animals. There was this switch in 2022 where like when the bees did happen, I was completely out of the blue and my community showed up tenfold. I mean, I can't even express to you. They had money raised overnight so we could redo the inside to build like these safety kennels for the animals. I mean, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I realized that, you know, the power of social media is like it was within my
Really cool.
community.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. And they've
Yeah.
carried me for the past couple years. They really have. So
Wow. So
yeah.
you have some
Yeah.
diehard fans.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
really
Before.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we ask you to show
Mhm.
before we ask you to give us a tour of your sanctuary and stuff like that, you did talk about your heroin
Mhm.
addiction, fighting your heroin addiction. Um, how were you able to get over being a heroin addict,
Mhm.
and how were you able to get to that next step? Because
Mhm.
we all know when you're fighting an addiction and trying to overcome it is like one of the biggest challenges you have to go through in your life.
Yeah.
How were you able to overcome your addiction?
I didn't. I just know that it's so with addiction, I think for me, one of the most dangerous things is, and at that time, I thought I overcame it. I thought I was cured.
Mhm.
I'd 3.5 years sober. You know, I thought I was doing it. There was no reason why I should have any problems. Like, I'm superwoman. It's just, I thought I overcame it. And to
Mm,
me, that was the biggest thing, you know, to learn is it's something that's with me every single day. You know,
Mhm.
it's something that I work on every single day. You know, the only thing I have to do perfectly is not pick up a drug or a drink. I've
Yeah.
been doing that well for over 7.5 years, God willing.
Okay.
Um,
Congrats.
it was, thank you. It was my redemption. It was for me, my story, I got arrested. So, I mean, I will go and I will use and I will be a monster until something is physically in my way. And by the grace of God, after using the heroin in Florida down here for 5 months, I was arrested. And I can imagine it like it was yesterday, and just thank God it did. So I got arrested. I went into treatment. I'm never really one of these people that's like, oh, I want to go get sober. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I needed something to stop me, and I needed those around me to like gather and rally and, show me I had something to live for. And I had the animals at that time. I had a group of animals. I had foxes. I had another sanctuary.
Oh, wow.
My husband, he was my boyfriend at the time, he moved them to another location. That unfortunately turned into a whole other debacle, but that's a story for a different day.
Okay.
And my family and everyone, they allowed me time to heal. They allowed me time. I had to take time away from social media. And I just had to focus on myself and my recovery. And I went through drug court, so I've expunged my record. Everything's completely gone. What else did I do? I had to declare bankruptcy. So I'm almost 4 years out of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So just all these things they had to happen. They were consequences, but they're just rolling in and rolling along.
Would you say when you got arrested, that was like your wake up call to like, I gotta find a different way. Like, I can't do this shit anymore. I gotta try to go a different direction and go more of the path of the Kinkajous, like, would you say that's like kind of what happened in a way to you in like your mindset?
I wish, but just the mindset of an addict, and I would be lying to you if I told you otherwise. I was arrested, and I'd been in the program before. Remember, I just had 3.5 years sober. Before that, a collection of 6 months. I'd been to treatment 4 times. I knew what to do to get sober. I knew what I needed to do. I didn't want to do it. So I even remember laying in that jail cell, and I remember staring at the wall and just thinking that I was going to get out and go get high again, because that's how crazy my addiction is. When I got out and started seeing the damage, and I went to detox, and once I got that cloud out of my judgment, that's when I woke up. That's when I was like, so figure about a week and a half into it, but it was like, holy crap, like my family's trying to help save my life. Like these animals, everything was in perspective. And then it was like, okay. But I did have training wheels for a while. I had to do, like I said, drug court, where you have to go and you have to give Yep, exactly. And all that stuff. So, and here I am today. So it is. And, here I am. I got, my meeting tonight, and go
hopefully
hang out with my
everything
support
goes well.
network. And
Let me. What was your most darkest moment when you were addicted to heroin? What was that? What was the darkest moment you had?
So this is crazy. But again, it's just the insanity of the disease. But so I did have like a little like storefront. I did have some property where I was able to keep some animals about a block away.
Okay.
And right next door to it in the parking lot it was a 12-step clubhouse. So I would do my thing, and I get high, and then I'd be able to sit there, and I'd be able to see the people who were well, who were fixing their lives, who were actively seeking God and actively seeking, and it was just the insanity. It's the madness. It's it was within an arm's reach, but I just have a little bit of a different story. So,
okay.
but really, and at that point, I wasn't even into the Kinkajous yet, because the Kinkajous came later. When I was in treatment, so when I was getting high, I applied for my IRS nonprofit license. And then when I was in treatment, sober, looking at what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, that's when I received the acceptance letter. So I was like, here's my future. So we put a year in between that, and it waited until I had a year sober before I launched Kinkatopia. Launched Kinkatopia. 2 years later, I started introducing the world to the fact that I was sober, and now there's 3 million people across my platforms that, like, if I erase the little number 7 on my bio, they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I just wanted to fit something else in there. I have accountability. Like, it's just, it's beyond my wildest dreams. And it's so cliche, but like it literally is beyond my wildest dreams.
And what would you say to the people that's fighting addiction right now? Like, what advice can you give them to help them go through like the same situation you went through, or even worse? What's something that could motivate them maybe to help them in their situation that you can say?
I mean, first and foremost, if I can do it, anyone can, hands down. You know, and really just keep fighting. And when your moment comes, sink your teeth into it and surrender. And I pray to God I had my moment. I believe I did. You know, but I work every day to make sure that I stay in that place. So it's something that we have to constantly work at too. So, but the miracle will happen.
Yeah.
But if you do, you hang on. The miracle will happen. And it's so cliche, but I'm living proof. So, yeah.
I want to say thank you for
never giving up.
Yeah, thank you for never giving up, but also thank you for going down the path you're going down now, and thank the universe that you're still here, because
it is
obviously you are a benefit to the world. You're doing something that nobody else is doing, and like we need you. So thank you for being here. Can you show us, please? We're gonna yes, please.
Now I do have some construction going on, so no judgment, but everything I see is just around. There we go. Okay, you can see the active, so you'll be able to see how we were very creative with space. And everyone's asleep right now. They're nocturnal, but I have a cage open to show you. So, so basically, I live in a multi-family neighborhood, and this is my backyard. We've just completely built up around the perimeter. My neighbors are amazing. They're the kindest people in the whole world, and they love the kinks. Oh, I forgot it.
Wow.
Some marshmallows over here.
Yeah.
2 seconds. Okay, so we have most of our Kinkajous out here, and then I'll show you the inside and then what we built for them. So let's see. And here's going to be Tommy and Winnie. Hold on 2 seconds. I didn't open the bag. Okay. So I've got little marshmallows for them because, of course, they're sweet tooth. Let's see Tommy and Winnie, please. Here we come. We're coming slow.
Wow.
Here's Winnie. Winnie's a nice girl, isn't she? Winnie's a very nice girl. Okay, good job, Winnie.
And how old is Winnie?
Hi. So Winnie is 6. Yes, you are. She's also an amputee. I'll show you if she shows her hand. That's Tommy. You keep coming back for more. Look at your tongue. Look at your
Winnie's
tongue.
Like, give me that sweet stuff.
She had to have a tooth removed so it won't stay in her mouth. It rolls out. Be nice.
So
let's see your arm.
So do Kinkajous prefer? Do they prefer fruit or do they prefer meat? Because they're omnivores. What do they prefer?
I would say fruit.
So they totally prefer the fruit, yeah. But interestingly enough, physiologically, they are carnivores. They're classified as carnivores. So these guys have a fast metabolism and they have a very short digestive tract. So they do prefer the fruit, but it is important to give them a little bit of meat.
Wow.
Isn't it right? You guys love your meat. I wish you'd come out full body, but that might be asking too much.
And I didn't ask you this before. Are Kinkajous, are they endangered? Are they classified endangered? Or no, they're
Fortunately, not. No, fortunately, no. And that is, well, it's just a matter of time. I mean, let's face it, we're cutting down their rainforests, so.
I've seen something about the Norman. You have a Norman.
Yeah, I'll show you Norman. Here's my werewolf cat. Hi, Ripper.
Whoa.
You're not gonna talk?
That's insane.
So the cats
like
and they just use.
Those are like the naked kind of cats, right? Like the ones that don't really grow a lot of fur, I think.
Yeah, hairless cats.
He's got.
Yeah, I think so.
And then if we come in here, this is okay. This is the indoor room. So this is what we built after the bees. But what you're looking at is this is one giant cage.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the cages have a little kennel and then like a little door. So if there's a hurricane, because it's going to happen, we bring everyone inside, we cover the door, and then this is one kennel. So we have kennels to bring every single Kinkajou inside during a storm.
Wow.
So that's going to be something.
So I have a question. I saw in one of your videos that you went through the hurricane. What was that like, dealing with the sanctuary and having to deal with hurricane season and all that stuff?
It is always a hot mess. Fortunately, we have not been in like a really bad hurricane. Try and get someone else. We haven't actually been where it's hit us. Now, like, yeah, we've gone through like Ida and we went through Dorian where we've had to prepare or bring them inside. I only had to do it. The last I did it was with like 10 Kinkajous. So I haven't done it. We didn't have to bring anyone inside last year. So this will be a big job. But you'll see, we keep I keep like hurricane shutters on some of the windows year round and things like that, because it also keeps it dark in here for them. But it's a lot. They get very agitated, they get very confused, and the animals, they're probably a better read for what the storm's going to be like than you know, the weather forecast and stuff. The animals are very intuitive.
Yeah, that's so true. What is it like? How to keep a sanctuary together? What is the cost? Because you're coming out of your pocket. What is the cost annually to keep a sanctuary like yours running?
Approximately. You don't have to give us the exact number.
Oh no, we actually just talking about this because we've grown. We're probably at about $100,000 a year without paid employees.
Damn.
That's literally just
animal care.
I mean, oh really? To me, I'm like, oh my god, we're spending $3,500 to $4,000 a month on food.
Yeah,
the food's the killer. But yeah, that's definitely where we're at. So, and fortunately, like I do put a lot of my money into this. I put more in the beginning, but everything that you see, it's been donated for by social media from our community. So we went viral in September of 2020, and that's when our growth, you know, really exponentially started. We just went along with it. And I mean, now the organization's just outgrown me because, you know, I had to take on more work. So
yeah,
it is a constant hustle. You always put it first. These animals come before anything else in my entire life. They come before I, you know, go out to get the mail in the morning. You know what I mean? Like it just,
you wake up and you go right home.
It is what it is. Exactly. I like that.
It's the life I chose. So we've been remodeling the house. So we've got caging in here.
Oh, it's very spacey. And wow. Oh, this is cool.
Robust. Very robust. You have like a Kinkajou like in dating service over there. Like
here's another cage. So yeah, we have here. And then what we did was we had to turn my guest room. We turned the guest room into a medical space. So if we ever have to quarantine, because earlier this year we had 5 of them get sick at once and we had to quarantine them. So that's when we were like, okay, we need to have a space for that too. So, I mean, this house has literally evolved into, I mean, it was the sanctuary before, but even more so, we've been able to take it up a notch. So
Damn, good to you, Alexandra. Alexandra, good to you, for real. That to keep all that together, awesome that is that sounds like a headache to me, but good to you. I couldn't do that.
Are you doing any breeding with the Kinkajous? Are you doing any breeding?
Oh, if you're breeding the Kinkajous.
Nope, no breeding. There is enough breeding, so we get them all fixed.
But that's a big sanction you got there. Like I was saying, I don't know if you heard me, but it's like you have like a dating like a dating path. Wow, like a dating palace for the Kinkajous. Like,
oh god,
it's like Tinder there. Swipe left, swipe right. I mean, man, like you can be having like 100 of things like running around there. I'm just saying, that's good. That's a big home. Like you have a lot of cages for. I mean, it's only right. It's only
I know, right? It's already kinky, so come on.
It's already kinky.
That's a good one.
I know.
It's a good one.
Kinkajous.
All right. So we got a cool segment for you, but before we get into the segment, I got a couple of videos I want you to explain. Okay. So there's this one video that I saw was you put out and I don't want to get emotional for you but like you lost Roger.
Roger, yeah.
That one I watched that a couple times because I don't know what the feeling is like losing a pet. Actually, I do. I lost a lizard and I cried. I know my brother remembers that story. But losing an animal is like losing a human. Like, what was that experience for you losing Roger?
Roger, yeah.
Another really good question, because I have some footage I was gonna I want to do more about this, because people don't realize what we go through in rescue when it comes to loss and what we're facing, because I'm telling you, I've got 30 Kinkajous here. Well, I'm going to be like going through this over and over. Roger was definitely a different one, because Roger was my first Kinkajou's biological brother. I've known of him, and I used to hang out with him like 8 or 9 years ago. We used to get the kinks together and they play. I thought I know the family. I thought I knew them well. Apparently not. And just the whole thing was absolutely heartbreaking. I still don't know if I took him and he was sick and they knew that, or if he got sick at the vets. I don't know. I have to say this one shocked me, in the sense that never in a million years did I think that his family would say, we don't want to hear anything about him again, ever. Like, to me, that's just, yeah. Wow. They, we were talking about him, and he wasn't doing well. He was only with me for a month. He had surgery. He just was not looking well. And so I kept them updated. They wanted to be updated until he was just too sick, I guess. And then literally they sent me a message after he was put to sleep in my arms, saying that they didn't have the mental capacity to deal with him. And I'm just like, and then literally said, don't contact us again about Roger. I responded and said, he passed away today. And then they blocked me on everything. So that's, yeah, I have to say that's, I've memorialized him. There's his little footprint. Oh, he's tattooed on me.
Wow.
He's joined all of the other kinks, but the death thing is really tough. I had a really powerful and sudden death on August 7th of last year. And that kind of like started the chain event with my sweet little Ariel. And since then it's just one blow after another. And it's really hard. It's hard to bounce back. And then each death reminds you of it. So you're just constantly in a cycle.
Whoa, that was deep. That was deep.
And how did you bounce back? Like, what did you do to recover from your state of mind?
I didn't. And that's just the honest to God truth. I haven't.
You're still recovering now.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make it better, or to make you feel back to normal, or back to your state of mind where you were before? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you spending more time in nature, grounding? What are you doing?
Just that. That's my favorite thing in the whole entire world is just to go out. I hike. I've been working out, but honestly, since the bees on October 5th, and that's why I know these dates so well, is because these are like mile markers as to when I last felt a certain way. So for the past 2 years, it has been, you kind of just start to feel somewhat normal after a loss, and then another one happens, and then it just stirs it all up. So, I do all the things. I talk about it, helping, me talking about it publicly helps. I'm sure it's helping other people. They help me. I go to therapy every 2 weeks. I do the 12-step thing. So I'm constantly working on it. I actually, I did EMDR therapy, which is like almost like it's like a light, bilateral light thing where you watch a light and you recreate new memories based on your old. And I did that for 3 months to try to help me with Ariel. But it's a constant struggle for me, and it has been for years. I have Matilda, is a 3-legged fox who passed away in 2016. And that was a mile marker in my relapse. I relapsed the next month. Saying it caused me to.
You're strong.
Thank you. It's strong. It added to it. So yeah, so the grief and the death thing is very personal to me. But it's so important, I think, that we talk more and more about it, because so many people are going through it, even at home with animal loss. It's just, like you said, it's like losing a human. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason I'm asking you like how you deal with it, because I'm worried for my mom. Like, she's going through it with her dog. The dog, we don't know how long it has, and I'm just trying to hear someone else's advice who've been through that experience. Just because if you have pets, you're gonna deal with it. No matter how many you have, it's gonna happen eventually.
Right.
And she's like, another dog. She has a cat. So I told her, it's gonna keep happening. eventually, like that's just the way of life. But
yeah, they
the
don't
most
outlive
important
us.
thing is how to recover from those losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talk about it. And I mean, my last thing real quick is I get the cremation tattoos, which is a little weird. I don't know if your mom would be into that, but like Roger's ashes are into him, so
Yeah. I'll get the rainbow tattoos.
Get him cremated, do a little memorial. But yeah,
Dude,
it'll
yeah.
be tough. Just be there for her.
Yeah.
What? All right. So I also saw in a video that you rescued a kitten and a raccoon. What was that experience like, taking care of a baby raccoon?
Oh God, it was so short. It was a neonatal raccoon. That thing was, it was probably a day old.
Very small, yeah.
Very small. My job was to keep it warm and get it to a sanctuary the next day. Unfortunately, he passed away. But that, again, that's just another thing with going along with this. I mean, people will deliver animals to me that pass away, so death really is a huge part of it. But the raccoons are always fun. I mean, I have gotten them when they're a little bit older too. Legally, I can't care for them, but if it's a weekend or something, someone can drop them off with me and then I can take them to the sanctuary or the rescue, whatever. So yeah, that's always fun. And I always like that it's a cousin of a Kinkajou. I feel like it can be a little more extra educational, and I love showing people what they're supposed to do.
Do they vibe?
Raccoon. We have interesting stories with raccoons. Where we come from, us. He's my brother, by the way, Tim.
I mean,
we have interesting stories with raccoons. Raccoons in Connecticut are pretty.
Right, you're talking about that, right? You haven't seen the raccoons in Florida. When I was going to Jacksonville University, right, I seen raccoons chilling during the day, right?
Yeah,
I walked the other. Listen, I don't care how late I'm in the class. I was like 10 minutes, 20 minutes late. I walked the other way. Because Alexandra, our experience when we were younger in Connecticut with the raccoons. If you see one, if you see one,
they are amazing. They are amazing animals. Don't get me wrong, but like my childhood is just like, I just remember the taking off the garbage and like them coming out at once. It was
You're
just
running
like,
for your
wow.
life.
I feared raccoons. I feared them.
Yeah.
I did. I feared them in the past.
Yeah.
But they're underrated. They are
underrated. Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got a couple more things to ask, and then me and Tion got a cool.
We got a segment for you.
Yeah, we got a segment for you. Go ahead, Tim.
Ray, before you ask that, and I'm not trying to be funny, but Alexandra, like I know we're telling you about the raccoons, like in the past, in our past experience, but a lot of brothers fear raccoons. I'm telling you, a lot of brothers fear raccoons. Ray, Tion.
What's that?
No, not all, but our brothers in America fear raccoons.
I love you, Tim. I love you, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love you. It's true. It's true. By the way, hold on. I'm trying to load up the game.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. All right. So what does wildlife conservation mean to you? What is it like being a person that is a part of wildlife conservation?
So I don't do any conservation. So conservation, I'm not protecting an endangered species. I'm talking about the rainforest and things like that, but I'm not breeding, I'm not releasing. So I'm a huge advocate of it. We need it. It's just not my department. One of my pet peeves is when people talk about it and it's not their department either. So I'm just super honest with it. And I do get the question a lot too about conservation. It's just, I'm solely focused on captive Kinkajous. So if there ever comes a time, I would happily show up. I would love to do things, in the wild for them. It just isn't that time yet. So but I'm there.
Well, we'll be supporting you when you do that, because that'll be nice.
Thank you.
What, and can you tell us what is the difference between a sanctuary and a zoo for people that don't know?
Oh, sure. Sure. So, a zoo, it's typically accredited by like the zoological or American zoological, whatever. They have their own set of standards. You typically pay to go to the zoo.
Yeah.
They do have kind of like their own like bureaucracy too. They typically have breeding programs, among each other where they can help reintroduce species. Like zoos definitely deal with wildlife conservation because they're putting back what, is missing. A sanctuary is a place for it's a homestead. It's a safe haven. It's where animals typically go that are unwanted, have nowhere else to go. And when they come here, it's a set space for them where they don't have to work, they don't have to do anything. They can just be animals and live out their lives, and we take care of them. So sanctuaries are typically nonprofits as well. That's where, we're a 501c3 and things of that nature. Zoos are not. Yeah. And they're both awesome.
Can people visit the sanctuary also, or is it?
My sanctuary in particular is private. I'd love for it to be public someday, but a lot of sanctuaries are, a lot of nonprofits and stuff. They definitely, have the opportunity to do it by appointment or something along those lines. So,
yeah.
But that's the dream. The dream is in the next couple of years selling this house to get property and opening up a public place and really,
making it better and better each time. That's a good goal.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Go ahead, Tim.
And my question is about the zoo thing. And I don't want you to have any beef with zoos or anything like that. So do you support zoos? Like, do you like what they do? Like, do you support zoos?
I say yes. Because I do believe that the majority of them are serving a purpose, whether it is helping with conservation, obviously educating the world. I do think all of that's wonderful, but I do think that there are some of like the roles, the bureaucracies of it that, whether an animal should get fixed or not, or things of that nature. Like, I just think that, it should be more individual on the animal instead of generalized. I will share this because this is my one qualm with zoos and what people don't realize, and it's specific to Kinkajous and nocturnal animals. But you don't think if you go to a zoo and have a Kinkajou out, the Kinkajou is not going to be on display. The Kinkajou is going to be asleep. So it's virtually an animal that can't make any money back for them. So typically zoos won't have them. They don't serve a purpose.
Yeah.
But what zoos like to do is call Kinkatopia. And they like to ask me to take their Kinkajous, ones that they don't want anymore. I got a call 2 weeks ago about one. It's 18 years old. It's lived at the sanctuary for 18 years, but they want to do something with its enclosure. They want to do something with the space. So they wanted to have a better life. So I talked to these people for maybe 20 minutes. And if they told me one more time that they wanted that animal to have a better life. So finally I just said, if you want him to have a better life, he'll stay with you. You'll keep him. He'll live out his days with you. That's his best life. You don't move an 18-year-old animal.
Yeah.
That's an example.
That's retirement.
Yes. That's exactly. He should be there forever. So, and that's not the first zoo I worked with. They're usually very stingy. They don't like to fix them. They make it more difficult than it is,
Yeah.
And they should be keeping them. So in that sense, some of them make my job a little harder. And I don't think that people do realize that, but yeah. But overall, they're good.
Okay. So before we move on, how does it feel to be TikTok famous, and why social media? Why did you use this platform? Why did you put your content on social media? And how does it feel to become TikTok famous?
Oh God, I'm like, my friends like to tease me too. It's very cool in the sense that if there's anything Kinkajou related, people are calling me. There was a Kinkajou found at a bus stop in Washington State last week. I've gotten that news article emailed to me so many times. I literally am the cornerstone for Kinkajous. So most importantly, that's where it's at. It's a huge responsibility in the sense that I don't want to talk anyone into getting kinks. I don't want to make it look more fun than it is, you know? So it's a big responsibility. What was the other part of the question?
Why how does it like how does it feel, like the feeling of being TikTok famous? I think you're at 2 point. I think you're at like 2 million followers or something like that.
2.7.
Yeah.
It's
million. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like it's the animals
Hey.
I'm like, oh, yeah, it's the Kinkajou. So like, but it is it's amazing. It's allowed me to be able to do what I did. And oh, you asked me why I chose it. So when I had my old organization, it's back when like Instagram was like followings were totally organic. You just put in a hashtag and that's how people found you. So my old organization had like 40,000 followers or something. So like I organically grew them. All right, I was good with that. But when I relapsed, we shut down all that social media. So I came back with 0. I came back with a completely fresh account. And it was such a challenge to build that up until TikTok came, and then Instagram Reels came, and then I was able to build it.
Yeah.
But you know, TikTok was kind of like the door to everything else. We got to do some really cool things. I have some NDAs, so I'm not allowed to share the really cool things.
Yeah.
But then it leads me to like I get to meet really cool people like yourselves. Like it just.
Thank you.
And I forget.
An honor, really.
I forget. Like guys, I received a donation today to be able to buy out my property. This is like, I've been fighting for this loan for like months and months and months. And here, just through sharing with my community, you know, someone who was able to help, they did. And it's like, it's life-changing. So it's just like, I should be able to start working for Kinkatopia in the near future because of this. Like this was my miracle, my moment. Like this is insane. And it's here. And I'm just so grateful. I'm a girl who was arrested and people had sent death threats to, you know, I'm a girl that no one wanted to see. No one wanted to see me have animals, you know, it just, you know, and now it's my redemption. And I've been able to show the world that, you know, I'm here to help. That's all I want to do.
See, I'd like to see someone who came from a dark place to come back into the light, you know, and change their whole lives. And you're doing it a very well job. You know,
it's crazy
what you're doing.
Yeah,
Kinkatopia. I love that name.
The name is hard, bro. The name is hard.
Honestly, Kinkatopia. Hearing that, just keep hearing that name makes me want to watch Zootopia after this. Honestly, Kinkatopia, Zootopia, Kinkajous. Yeah, this is my first. Like today is my first time hearing the name Kinkajous. I like the name and the small animals, Kinkajous. Like I love the name Kinkajous. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I'll get tatted somewhere.
No, it's fun. And you know, the reason that we went viral, I was doing a video on things in my home turn sanctuary that make sense. And I had a cat kennel with one of my Kinkajous in it. And I said, we have jails for naughty Jews. And I ended the video. I didn't think. So I woke up to, it was insane, you know, everyone was the Jews, and is Hitler here and this and that. Thank God it was well received. I was very lucky. And that's what we built off of. So it's the name. It's always been the name.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I could have seen how that turned. Like,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
We don't do those.
Yeah. That's crazy. Let me ask you this. So you kind of said it. What is the future of Kinkatopia, and what are the steps that you want to take moving forward?
Absolutely. Yeah. Right now, I need a resettling period. Just to regroup myself. I want to get more volunteers in here. I need it to be a more fluid machine. Like this can actually be its own entity now. Like that's what it needs to be, to function for the animals. And then beyond that, it will be, you know, God willing, getting new property. I'd love to have a public space, a nocturnal sanctuary. They don't exist. No nighttime sanctuaries exist. I want to be the first. You know, so that's where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at. Awesome. And hopefully that's like in the next 5 years or so, you know. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got forever supporters on here. Speaking for myself, I'm pretty sure I can speak for both of them. But like, you're doing a really good thing.
I followed you today because I needed to check. Because I don't have TikTok, but I have Instagram, and then I checked it out, and I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna keep following you the rest of my life. So.
It's nice. It's nice.
I have a question. So you sleep you don't sleep in the sanctuary, but like your house is a part of the sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm like sitting in my living room.
Okay, and that's dope. And those Kinkajous, all those other animals are like your kids. So how much sleep do you get? Like, how much sleep do you get? Well, how many hours of sleep do you get? Honestly,
I'm doing better now because I'm making it a point for my mental health. But there was a time last year where I'd work my full-time job, then I'd do the sanctuary stuff, and I'd probably be up till about 4 a.m. And then my day job starts at 9 is when my alarm would go off. So there's the 5 hours, and that's where I'd like decompress and sleep for a little bit. And I did that for a bit.
Whoa.
And then I've been out.
Wow.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right.
Hey, you're better than me. You're better than me.
Yeah.
Better than me.
Yeah. Better than me too.
Hard.
All right, we have
start the segment.
We have a game that we're gonna play. It's called Name That Animal. All right.
Okay.
So you're gonna tell me the animal where they live and a fun fact about the animal.
About them.
Right?
If you know, obviously, if you know the animal.
Oh yeah.
If you know it, it goes from easy to hard. All right.
Yeah.
Tim, don't chime in, Tim. Tim, help her out. But I think she's good. I think she's good. All right.
Kinkajous. We'll find out.
No. We want Alexandra to name the animal, but if she needs any help, Tim, you back her up. All right.
I'll be phoning a friend. Yeah.
I'm sure she got it. I'm sure she got it.
I'm sure she got it too, Tim. I'm sure she got it. Here we go.
Here we go. So he's gonna put the animal up.
I don't even know what to expect, so I'm like, okay. Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Cool. Oh my gosh, this is what a Eurasian lynx or something.
Yeah, you don't have to be that specific,
okay.
But you got the right word.
Eurasian lynx.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's really good.
This is like a medium-sized cat. You'd need a class 2 license for it in the state of Florida, but I mean, he's definitely got that big, beautiful coat during the winter. They're going to shed for the summer. They're carnivorous.
Yeah.
Bobcats.
These things are in Spain.
I like that.
These things are in Spain.
Yeah, the
gorgeous.
Yeah, the Iberian, not the Canadian.
Not Eurasian.
You saw the Iberian.
I feel like the Iberian was a little bit smaller than that. I feel like it was a little bit smaller. The Iberian.
Yeah, the ones in Spain are a little bit smaller. All right.
Okay, here's the second one.
What is Timon?
It's a meerkat. The cutest meerkat ever. Oh my god. Yes, meerkats. Okay, so they live in colonies. Where are they from? I couldn't tell you that.
I think they're from.
I can envision it. They're from like the prairie.
Where are they from, Tim?
Where are these guys? Yeah.
Wait, like who's like their family or like what?
No, like what?
Where are they from?
Where are they indigenous to? Yeah, where?
Like what continent?
Yes.
Yeah.
The continent of Africa for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Central Africa.
Central, yes. Yes.
And they do. They live in their little groups. They're so cute.
Yes, they are. Yes,
they are. And they eat. They prefer bugs.
Little bugs. Yep.
They prefer bugs.
Yep.
And fun fact, by the way, they are immune to venom. So they do sometimes. You can see them. Sometimes you can see them wrangle with a snake and win. And they are.
Yeah, they fight the cobra. They fight the cobra.
Yes, they have fun. Yes, look it up on YouTube. I promise you. Yes.
So they're like a mongoose because mongooses
it
do
seems
that too.
then it's probably
but the mongoose. Yeah, but the mongoose. If the mongoose gets bit by venom, it's done. It's done.
No, mongoose.
No,
mongoose can withstand venom from a cobra.
Yeah.
Really?
They eat cobras. Yeah. They're not.
Yes.
Yep.
But sometimes
where have you been, sir?
That's a 50-50 match. Ooh.
This guy's a
not really.
One of my friends.
Not really. Yes.
Yeah,
Snap.
correct.
All right,
that is a snapping turtle. Correct.
Can you
This
tell
guy
us
could, like,
a fun? Go ahead.
he could take off your wrist. That animal can chomp through. I don't even know what the pound per pressure is, but he would take off. I mean, branches, limbs. That thing it's very powerful.
How big are these things?
Yeah.
You talking about branches and limbs? How big are these
No,
things?
we're talking. God, what could I even compare him to?
He.
Like, how much does it
They're
weigh?
very big. Like
He look about
Big.
50,
2, maybe
50,
3
60,
feet.
70 pounds.
Yeah.
My buddy is 6'7", who has one, and he carries this monstrous thing around, and you have to hold it back behind the head, like in a shell, so it can't bite you. It whips its head around. Yeah, those things are scary.
Yeah.
And you can see, you could probably see these in Boca. You could probably see these in Boca Raton, right? In the river,
these
right?
Are around, yeah.
These probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are definitely in Florida, definitely.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, definitely are. But
all right, let's move on.
That's the scary part.
No. All right.
Okay,
I want to show you the next
you
one.
skip one. You skip one. You skip
here
one.
we go. No. This is it. This is it. See.
Why are you skipping my bucket list animal?
This is it. No, this is the next one. This is the next one. Can you tell us this animal?
Forget what this is. It's a rodent. It's not a capybara.
No, it's not.
But you're almost
What's
there.
the next size down from a capybara?
The next size down. Yeah.
This is. Tell me. No, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I know it's a smaller. But I know what that is.
This guy.
That's a ringtail cat.
Ringtail cat.
I can't help you on this one.
Yeah, it's a ringtail.
I can't help you.
The other one before was called agouti, and they actually have them in, and they have it in Trinidad and Tobago. Actually, I remember growing up as a kid seeing them a lot in the river.
Really?
Yeah, and they used to
swim?
be.
They swim,
but they love water, and they're always near the water and
just
stuff.
like a capybara.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Are they beavers?
Yeah.
They are related to beavers. They're rodent. They're from the rodent family.
And I remember people used to take showers in the rivers and stuff. You would always see them cross.
Those things are ugly.
That's so cool. They were in the rivers.
Those things that Raymond put on the screen are ugly. I don't like rodents. I don't like the rat looking.
No. This one?
No, he's talking about the one.
The one before the agouti. The agouti.
Yeah,
he's talking about
agouti. Yeah, that I'm gonna have to burn in my brain. But
yeah,
this is
when you go to the Caribbean, I'm sure you're gonna see it, especially Trinidad. You'll see it.
Can you guys? Can you tell us a cool fact about the ringtail?
They're related to Kinkajous.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we put that up there. Yeah.
I hope to be getting that.
Yeah.
They're arboreal. I know that. They're up in the trees. He reminds me a lot of my Janet with the way that, oh God, that beautiful tail, that long tail. Oh my God. Now
it's getting harder.
It is getting harder. It's like Uki. I know he's got like the little trunk nose. But yeah, what?
And they are the biggest. They're the biggest. I believe they're the biggest herbivores in the South America. I believe
these things,
but they have different types. They have different types, but
these are the biggest ones.
One in Asia too. They have one in Asia too.
I'm not mistaken.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure they call like a tapir or something like that.
It's a taper.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Taper. Yeah.
Taper.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yep.
Yeah. These guys are actually pretty. I mean, I can curse on here. It's my show. These guys are pretty badass. They fight off jaguars. They fight off jaguars. Sometimes, Tim, this thing is like 300 pounds, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
They're really heavy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Actually, they have one in the zoo over here. And it's like 2 hours away. They have two of them in the zoo over here in Salzburg. Well, yeah, not so far from me, but yeah.
Are they tall?
Cool.
I mean, I'm taller than it, but it's like I would say about like
a zebra.
4 feet.
A zebra big.
Yeah, I mean the ones I saw were like 4 feet. They probably could get bigger, you know, and they're definitely about the length of a like donkey kind of.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's hoof stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely hoof stock.
Mm-hmm. They also have zebras over here too. I don't know how they did that.
Oh, it's a little bush baby, a Galileo Galilee, little bush baby. Those things are amazing. Totally nocturnal. There's a greater and a lesser. More common to see the greater, but oh my God, one of my friends just got the lessers and they're so cute. Do you guys follow Pizza Tori?
No.
No, we don't. No.
He's a little, I think they're also known as little tasers, but yeah, it's one of these little creatures. It's a little bush baby, and he's, you know, just a famous bush baby. No big deal.
These things eat moths, right? They
eat bugs. I'll tell you a quick fact. So. This is, I mean, if this is the same one, it's supposed to be like one of the mouse lemurs, which is actually from Madagascar. It's more the big-headed little, you know, monkey guy that was with King Julian, the super annoying one.
That's why I know him. Yeah. That's why I know that animal because of Madagascar.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Why I know.
This one is also from Madagascar, if you know it.
This is a fossa, right?
Yeah.
Yes, a fossa.
Yeah. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at that.
Yeah.
They're just so stunning.
Yeah. I just actually learned about these. Not gonna lie to you, I learned about these when I read the book by David Attenborough called Life. I think Life on Planet Earth. Yeah. And he talks about the fossa, and like they're only I think they're only native to like Madagascar. And they're lemur eaters, and it makes sense because I watched the movie. It's in the cartoon
movie. This movie.
Yeah, that's so what they were doing.
Yeah. Wait, whoa!
I know.
You never seen the.
I know.
Ooh, you behind.
I need to, because everyone always makes references, and I'm like, yeah. But yeah, I legit need to see it. So that's cool if they have a fossa in it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an emergency right there. You gotta go watch it.
They kind of almost look like a Kinkajou a little bit, right?
Did you see I've heard people.
Yeah,
I hear that. Is that a fossa?
And we got the last one. My last one is kind of my favorite. I've seen a lot of TikTok videos on this guy.
Oh my God, this mother.
So this is a badass animal. I can't even lie to you.
But they're endangered
or something.
They're not in danger. They're not in danger.
No, they're not.
But they
never were. No, we just. I think we
just
were
thinking about maybe a dodo or something.
These guys have been around since like the prehistoric times.
Yeah.
It's
like a dinosaur. To be honest.
I think.
I just watched a video on that.
Yeah,
actually the famous guy that follows you. Actually,
do you know the name? He talks about it.
Is it a stone-bill stork or something? It's a type of stork, right?
Stone-bill. It's a shoebill. Shoebill.
Okay, all right. I had the one side.
I was like, is it stone-bill? Shoebill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I recently just seen TikTok videos of them too, and they look meaner than what they really are. They're actually pretty docile to humans. They actually greet by like putting their head down, and I thought it was like at first when I saw a video.
Look like
they bow, and it's like they do like a little shake. At first, I thought it was like somebody like messing with the video, and then I was like, "Oh snap! They really do. That's how they greet people. It's like a, I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
But I recently just learned about it.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Because those things, and they almost look they look fake. They look animatronic with the way that they're like
almost like
they look like they could be in Flintstones.
Yeah, or something like.
Yo, Tim, good observation. That is a Flintstone right there. That would be in Flintstone. That is a good observation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they are phenomenal. All right.
That was really good.
Before we get you out of here, because I know over there is a lot. It's 6 hours earlier than we are. We're actually 6 hours earlier than you are. You guys are 6 hours behind.
Right. She's 6 hours behind.
Yep.
So I know you got a busy schedule. Coming up, but before we let you go, I wanted to ask you, because we usually like to end off the show with inspirational message, especially for somebody like yourself, going through a drug addiction, beating it, being strong as you are, coming up with this incredible idea, running in this program, running this organization, and being the only one in the world to own a Kinkajou Sanctuary, being incredible on social media, having an incredible following, and your energy is contagious. All right. Somebody needs a message from you, and we're asking an inspirational message to somebody that is going through dark times right now, that is just not consistent in what they're doing. What is a message you would say to somebody like that?
Hang on until the miracle happens. And when I heard that, I wanted to bang my head against a wall. I really did, because when you're going through it, and I mean, I've really been going through it. Nothing makes it feel better, nothing. I mean, maybe prayer and stuff, but but really just hold on, because I wasn't a believer in that. And literally, I got the biggest miracle I could ever ask for this afternoon, and that's beyond material things. So it's just hang on and keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's cliche, but just do it, because the payoff will arrive. And take care of yourself. Self-care.
I appreciate that.
Lovely message.
I actually have something to tell Alexandra. You seem like a spiritual person.
I am.
And you seem like you go based off of frequencies, and because animals, that's how they communicate. They communicate off of frequencies and off of their animal instinct. It's good energy, negative energy. So I have something for you to do. Do you like listening to music? Do you have a Spotify? I recommend you go on Spotify at this podcast, search frequency music. It can be 430 watts, 500 watts. And this right here is healing to the body. I just want you to try to listen to high frequency music for maybe 30 minutes of your day, and see, and let's see if that can contribute and help with the sadness sometimes you feel, or the depression. I'm telling you, I do it every day. I sit in the sun and I listen to it. Yeah. Oh, I sit in the sun and I listen to high frequency music, 430 watts, 530 watts, and different hundreds represent something different. Maybe the 420 watts could relax you. 500 the 530 watts, maybe that's like something that could like give your body a shot to make you like ready for the gym. 630 watts is something that maybe I can like I don't know, make you feel like you're in like a daydream. That's just my recommendation for you.
No, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, you seem like the type of person that would get off on something like that. I mean, I get off on stuff like that. Like Kinkajous, you work with Kinkajous. You gotta be a person that you gotta be a person that is spiritually connected to something. Because if not, then you can't raise and take care of these animals the right way. If you got negative energy and a low frequency, real recognizes real, and animals don't lie. They don't 100%. Lie. Real recognizes real. So that's my recommendation. That's one of my life secrets to you.
Oh, I love that.
I appreciate that, Tim. That was dope. That was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so
real quick.
You go ahead.
Say this real quick before we wrap it up, Alexandra. I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, because I like that your energy is very addictive, and it's also like you're an open book. Like you don't hide from any truth. You say everything the way it is, and we need more people like this in the world. That could contribute to helping the world and making it a better place. And it don't matter in what department you're trying to put everything you can to the Kinkajous, and this you might even make history. I know you will make history in maybe the next 2 to 3 years.
Is making history already.
But she is right now, but it's not official. So I think that it will be completely done she thinks 5 years, but I'm thinking maybe 3 years, honestly,
Yeah.
if you keep up with everything and being this consistent. And we just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and everything you explained to the people and the lovely message you gave at the end. I'll let Ray
attacking social media. Attacking social media. Attack it. Attack it.
Don't give up.
Hey, social media is your strength. Do not take it as a bad way. Look at this. Generations are growing up, and we're more and more focusing big on social media platforms. So use what you got. Keep doing it. Keep attacking social media. Hell, hit 3.5 million next year. After that, hit 5.5 million.
Take it to the moon. Take it to the top.
Hell, after that, let's get to the millions. Be one of the first ones, and watch what happens when you reach into the teens, in the millions. I bet you other sanctuaries, other zoos are gonna. Hey, let's get the Alexandria girl over here.
Yeah, right.
Let's get over here and I'll pay her a lot of money so I can be on her social media platform. They pay you all that money. You're going to different zoos. You're traveling, and look at that. You can buy yourself another sanctuary. Look at
and help more animals.
I help more animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
More animals.
I love it.
More animals.
Yeah.
I love to see some cheetahs on there.
Yeah.
I love cheetahs on there.
Yeah.
Would you ever?
I want to say thank you to my brother too. Love you to death. Thank you for coming on as well. Guys, go follow Kinkatopia on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. She has a Linktree. Go look at the website, donate, Kinkatopia.com. The only Kinkajou Sanctuary in the world. And it is ran by Alexandra. Yes, making history. It's located in Florida. All the information is on the website. Please donate. Thank you so much. Big ups to Alexandra Ashe, the co-founder of
CEO.
Kinkatopia. Yes, the CEO.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big ups. Okay.
Thank you so much. No, my bad. But thank you so much for coming on the show. And guys, go check her out. Kinkatopia. Yes, Just the Thought podcast. Tiana is my host. Alexandra is my guest. Timothy, aka my brother, is also my guest. We are out, people.
All right.
Yes.
You guys are just so amazing and kind. Thank you so much. Really, this was such a pleasure.
This was awesome. It was an honor interviewing you. This was actually a really nice, mellow, but also very interesting interview. I don't think we had one like this so far. This was pretty good. Cool. And it's a whole different subject. We went a whole different direction, so I like that a lot.
My question was, would you ever go to a different country to build another sanctuary?
In a heartbeat. I'd love to. We've even talked about, having them in different places and, because we need more than one Kinkatopia, but absolutely. And I'd love to travel. I'd love to go connect with other zoos and sanctuaries. Like, I'd love to be all about that. I'm very much like, we should all be helping each other. We're all working for the same cause. So, yeah. Thank you.
Well, if you ever do it in Austria, let me know. I'll come visit.
You got it. And if you guys are ever in South Florida, you come see me.
Okay.
You're in the South Florida.
Yep, we're in Boca. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.